Asylum. Howie Chaz, welcome back to E Street Radio. Howie, how are you?
Hey, Jim. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to have you on. Congratulations again on another serenade. This is number 7, I believe, right?
That is correct. Number 7.
But the Spring Nuts are celebrating their 10th anniversary this year.
Yeah, that is the big deal. It is our 7th serenade, but this one is really, really special because it's 10 years since the birth of Spring Nuts, and it's a monumental and really, special occasion for us this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to give you and your wife, Julie, a lot of credit for growing this thing so much. So take us back 10 years ago to how this all started and a little bit of the progress that was involved.
Well, back in 2015, a little bit before that, I was writing some blogs for, another group, and I decided, people were really liking it, and I decided to maybe do it on my own. And one of those, blogs that I wrote, I used the word spring nuts, that the crowd went spring nuts. And whatever I wrote that day went over their heads, but for some reason that name clicked with everybody. And, so fast forward, when I decided to do this on my own, we used the term spring nuts as the group name. And we started off with, a couple of hundred of, members on Facebook. And, it really took off in the sense that people were interacting and it was growing. And, and then we started to do some work, obviously through charity. And then when our first serenade, came about, which was in 2017, where, Julie and some other members were, saying, why don't we take this to another level? And instead of doing this all online and virtually, why don't we get together? And, at first I was hesitant. It's one thing to do something online. It's another thing to be in, person. And I didn't really think people would, show up. So the first year I did it in the Wonder Bar. And the Wonder Bar asked me, so how many people are they going to have? I was, being very honest with them. I thought, maybe we'll have 80 or 100 people, tops. And lo and behold, we ended up having 320 people, and we sold out the Wonder Bar.
Wow.
And that was, crazy. And it was just very surreal. And, from there on, it just took off, and we did a lot of other charity work and, just helping other people out, that needed the help at the time. And, our reputation grew, and the band started to recognize us a little bit, and that was helpful. We moved on, to other social media platforms, as Twitter and Instagram and whatever. And, fast forward to where we are today, we are literally 70,000 people, members, I should say, combined with all our social media platforms. So it's been a crazy, crazy journey, and surreal. That's all I can say. It's surreal.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with Bruce touring all of these years before the pandemic, and then post pandemic, people. The one thing about Bruce's audience is that people travel to different countries. And so you have this, people from Europe come into the States to see Bruce, and they see all of you with your Spring Nuts t-shirts on. And it's a great way to spread the word. And now you have more members over in Europe now than you did prior.
Yeah. It's just crazy because when, we do go to these shows and whatever, and we see the Spring Nuts shirts all over the place, it's, it's a little humbling and it's a little crazy. And then when you see the pictures that are coming out of Europe and, Australia and all these other places, and they're wearing the shirts there too, yep. It's really, mind-boggling, and listen, one thing I have to say, I am deeply, deeply blessed, to have a group like this and the way it's grown and what we stand for. And, it is really something to watch, and I am, to be humble about it, but we're not full of myself. I am. That is the one thing I am proud about, is that what the group does stand for and the work that it does. It goes a little bit beyond Springsteen and the E Street Band. Obviously, they have their nucleus of what brings us together.
Right.
But it's, I wanted to stand for something. And when we actually helped one person out way back when. And then when I saw the impact it had, I said, this was really the calling. Am I just going to post a Bruce picture every day and, that's going to what I'm doing? Like, every group can do that. Anybody can do it. But are we going to do something that, means something? And listen, it's a testament to the group. It's not me or Julie who's doing all the charity work. We make the foundation and put together the group where they can go to, but it's the members that deserve the credit for carrying out, the work of the charity and goodwill.
Right. We're talking with Howie Chaz from the Spring Nuts. I have to say, I check out the page, I check out the website, the social media, the Facebook page, and it's really something beautiful to see all these friendships that have been built, throughout the world. In fact, I just saw a few photos of people, getting together and, flying in and coming to Asbury Park and everybody making plans. And it's just really something nice to see, because as we know, as adults, it's not easy to make new friends as you get older. And with the group that you and Julie started, you see all these friendships that are together now for people. And I think that's great. I think it's a great thing that, through Bruce's music and through the organization that you two put together, you've put together a lot of relationships for people. So I just think you guys are doing great work.
I coming from you, Jim, it means a lot, and I mean that. I know you've been, we always know that, like, before Spring Nuts was created, and a lot of people came on your social media pages through the wild and the innocent, and a lot of those people came to us as well, and those friendships were sort of rooted in what you did, and then obviously we try to carry it on, and even today, like, the Serenade weekend started today. And, so we were roaming around Asbury. We've been to the Wonder Bar, to Stone Pony. We've been to the Berkeley, to all the places that we're going to be doing things over the weekend. And people are hanging out. And, what you were just saying, and I really wish, it really is something that people should realize. It's not, now I'll go a little bit further. It's not even so hard to make new friendships at this stage of the game. It's actually, in today's day and age, in this crazy world that we live in, it's hard to keep friendships that you made.
Yes.
And, just to see the love and all the hugs that are going on today, and it's not even full throttle yet. This is just like people, like you said, coming in, you see the pictures and whatever, and you see everyone hugging, and it's very emotional. And we haven't seen, a lot of us haven't seen each other in a while, or they couldn't come to the past events or whatever it may be. And listen, let's be totally honest. I mean, even Bruce's music, lately has touched on mortality and things to that nature. And listen, we've lost a lot of members over the years, and and things in life changes for a lot of people. It's not the same. So I really, the older you get, the more it means. It has taken definitely on a new meaning for many of us in the group and in life. And honestly, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a little bit emotional when I'm seeing these people, because it's a different world we live in, and it is something to be together. And I hope they remember this. I hope they remember these friendships and they carry on for many, many years. And just that will be the legacy. If we have to wrap it up in the whole, is those friendships and connections that we've done over the last 10 years. That would be the legacy that we would like to leave, and the smiles, and know that Spring Nuts, was a big reason for that.
Yeah. Well, I believe that those relationships will carry on, and I think, like I said, you guys are doing great work. So quickly, tell me about the weekend. What's going on? What's a Spring Nuts Serenade weekend like?
Well, I got to take a deep breath for this one, because
okay, a lot of activities.
Yeah, we packed it in, for 10-year anniversary, but I have it up here so I can go through it. So for the next, every morning we have something that in the convention hall up in the offshore coffee house, which we call the Spring Nut Fresh Nut Coffee Clash, which is
Okay.
we meet up with all the we meet up with all the new members who have never been to a serenade or anything, and makes them feel welcome and comfortable. And we have coffee from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at the convention hall. Tonight we have two things going on because we just packed it all in. We have Eddie Testa going on right now with his fabulous band. He's playing at Bar A as we speak. And at 8 o'clock, Jay Pizzle has a full band show at McCloon's restaurant, which is totally sold out at this point. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Berkeley Hotel. The Berkeley has dedicated their rooms to us, which is called the Berkeley Hotel Go Spring Nuts. And we have a band that we have brought over from Scotland, who is a fabulous, fabulous band. They're called December. And they're a trio, and with Scott and Els, and they do their own stuff. They do beautiful covers of Bruce and U2 and The Alarm, but it's definitely different. They make Bruce's music sound like their own, so it's definitely something that people have not experienced in the past. Then we give out our T-shirts and swags at 3 o'clock. Then at 5 o'clock tomorrow at Bar A again, the Pat Roddy Band has his Bruce Fest, which is also, Pat Roddy is a fabulous band. And then at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to 11 p.m. tomorrow night, we have the legendary Tramps Like Us band. Will be covering Born to Run for its 50th anniversary. And they'll be doing a Spring Nuts Deep Cut show that the group has voted on during the last month at Asbury Lanes. And that's at 8 p.m. to 11. Tickets are still available, but very limited tickets for that. If you want to go, you go on the Asbury website, the Asbury Lanes website. And the last two things, which is the important things, we have the Stone at the Stone Pony. It's our main event, and it's a serenade from 12 to 5:30, and we have a lot of surprises for that day. To be quite honest, we're 30 tickets away from sellout, which is phenomenal. And the last thing is, which is the best way I can say that we were closing out this weekend, is the highly anticipated movie by Dave Barry, who's become a very good friend of me and Julie. He has a film called Tramps Like Us, ironically, and it's an amazing film, which I've seen, and we're going to world premiere it at Monmouth University at the Polar Theater. This is completely sold out. It sold out actually in 12 minutes. And this is a film that Dave has gone literally around the world and has interviewed, close to almost 300 people for this film. And it's all about the legacy and the connection between Bruce and his fans. Phenomenal film, and I encourage everyone that gets a chance to see it to see it. It will be streaming on his page live. At the time, we're showing it at the Monmouth Theater for the people, but it's a one-time only deal.
Okay.
We'll be taking it down right after that, and that's it. And then Monday we scrape us up off the floor.
And you start planning for year 8 of the serenade.
Year 8. My friend, I'm just looking at this. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket right now. Right. And, I'm just very, very blessed that we have we could say we've done this for 10 years and the serenade for 8 years. So, I'll count, I'm very, very happy to say where we are today. The one thing I will say that is, the Spring Nuts and the Spring Nut Serenade always makes the world smaller, and that's how we achieve peace in this world. So, that's the way I'll close that out.
Amen. Amen to that, Howie. So congratulations to you and Julie on another outstanding serenade. I know I'll be seeing stuff all over social media about the event and everything that's happened, all the other events that are around the serenade, the film, the concerts, the shows. And once again, you know, you guys are doing great work and you're building friendships, you're building relationships, and you're putting together, you know, a great family of people there. So all I can say is you're doing great work and keep it up. I do want to, I got to let you go because I got to get to more requests. But Howie, what song do you want to hear?
That's a great question. I didn't even think you were going to take one. But I am going to take, you know what? If I'm going to take one, I'm going to take a new one today, and to make it different, because I know Landon Hope for Dreams, that I would like to have Beautiful Morning from the new tracks.
Oh, nice. That's a great one. Isn't that an awesome song?
Yeah, and that's been added to our set list for Sunday because, you know, I think it puts it together. It's going to be a beautiful morning.
All right. Sounds good, Howie. Congratulations once again to you and Julie, and have a wonderful time at the Spring Nut Serenade 2025. I'll talk with you soon, Howie. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim.
You got it. Take care. All right. One beautiful morning from Tracks 2, and then more of your calls at 877-70-BREW.